Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This video is for those who are starting the AC circuit, and in this we'll try to talk about series parallel RLC circuits and how to find their total impedance of the circuit. Okay, now let's see the scenario when inductor is considered in case of a DC. So we just play with the value of the inductor in case of a DC and work out with that value. But in case of a AC, the scenario is different. Now here if you see, if the inductor is of 1 Henry, then at 50 Hertz frequency, this inductor will present a resistance of 314 ohm. And if the frequency is changed to 1000 Hertz, the same inductor will now present a resistive value of 6283. And at 10 kilohertz, the same inductor of 1 Henry will now present a resistive value of 62830. So you can see that the impedance, we call it impedance, or the resistive value of the inductor is changing with the change in frequency. And therefore we have to take into account the frequency when dealing with the inductor. And so it is dealt with these 4 or 5 names. First is JXL, and I'm sure you have learned XL is the inductive reactance. So XL is inductive reactance. With that we add J, then this will become impedance of the inductor. And XL is also written as 2 pi FL. So it can be written as J2 pi FL. Also we can write in terms of angular frequency, and angular frequency omega is given by 2 pi F. So we can write it as J omega L. And we'll see in case of a Laplace that is also represented by SL. But don't get confused with so many options. What we will do is we'll only play with this one. We'll only consider this. You can forget about all others. And same way for capacitor also. The capacitor has various values. With the increase of frequency, the value of the resistive value decreases. And so the capacitance will now be represented by minus JXC or 1 over J2 pi FC or 1 over J omega C, or which is equal to minus J over omega C, and in case of a Laplace it will be represented by 1 over SC. Again, I will just ask you to forget everything. We just do with one value, or we just carry with one value, and that value is as shown here. In case of an inductor, we'll just write J omega L, where omega is 2 pi F. And similarly, in case of a capacitor, we'll write minus J divided by omega C. With this background, now let's the problem. Question number 1, calculate the magnitude of the input impedance. So this is the input impedance at this point for a network when frequency is 10 kilohertz. So this is the input signal, 8 volt, and 10 kilohertz is the frequency. So we have to find the input impedance. So let's proceed. As this is the portion, we just separate this. So this is the portion where we'll calculate the impedance. And we know that omega is 2 pi F. So as I mentioned, that inductor will now be dealt as J omega L. So we'll find the value of J omega L. So J omega L can be calculated from here. J omega L is J 2 pi F. F is 10 kilohertz, the frequency, and the value of the inductor in this case is 10 millihenry. So 10 millihenry. So solving this, we can find J omega L to be J 628.3. So we'll just use this value. Okay. So our circuit will now look like this. This is the circuit in frequency domain, or using the taking care of the frequency. And now if you see, these two are in parallel, so we can solve them in parallel. So, and we name them name the parallel circuit as Z1. So Z1 can be written as R2 parallel j omega L. So this is R2 parallel j omega L, and parallel solving, multiply at the top and plus at the bottom, plugging in the values. And now if you have a smart calculator, you can solve it directly. Else we have to convert this bottom portion into, this is in rectangular form, we have to convert it into polar form, because top is in polar form, or top can be multiplied easily, but this has to be in polar form. So let's convert that in the polar form. Here J is actually equal to 90 degree, so we replace J by 90 degree, and this by the calculator we have found to be 1181 angle 32.4. So if you have difficulty, I had just made a video on use of calculator, you can watch that. Okay, so this is Z1. We can now solve these with the help of calculator. So dividing these two with this 532 and taking the angle up, this is plus, so this will be minus from 90, so angle is 57.86. So circuit now looks like this. The Z1 is 532 angle 57, and this resistance, so we just have to add these to get the total impedance ZT. Okay, so ZT is R1 plus Z1, R1 plus Z1, plugging in the value. Again, since this is in polar and this is in real part, so we cannot add them directly. We have to convert this into rectangular coordinate. So from polar to rectangular we get this value, and now we can add these two real terms. So it will be 753 plus J 450.47. So we can keep it as it is, or we can also convert this into polar form. So we will prefer to do this, and this is the answer. This is the total impedance of this circuit, and this part is the magnitude, and this is the phase angle. So let's do another one. The same circuit, the inductor has been replaced by a capacitor. So we'll exactly follow the same technique. J omega L 2 pi F. Here we'll use minus J over omega C. So we calculate minus J over omega C. Same way, this is the frequency part, 2 pi F, and this is the value of the capacitor, and solving we get this answer. So we now plug in this value. So this is the value of the capacitors now, and these two are in parallel, so we'll solve them in parallel to find Z1. Z1 is the parallel of the two, so R2 parallel minus J omega C, and plugging in the values, solving. Parallel, I hope you know, we multiply at the top and divide at the bottom. And same logic, this could be multiplied directly, but this we have to convert into polar form. So it is in polar form now, and now we can divide and we get this answer, Z1. So we have found Z1, now ZT is again summation of these two. So summation of the two, this is again in a polar, so we have to convert into rectangular. So converting into rectangular, we get this answer, and now we can add the real terms. So this is the final answer, and this can be converted into polar form also. So this is the second part, and now let's see the third question. Now here you can see that the inductor and the resistance are in series, and the capacitor and the resistance are also in series. So first of all we'll solve them. Frequency J omega L, we have to find out the value of J omega L, plugging in the value of omega and L. It is 628.3, same as we got in the previous example. And similarly for this we find minus j omega c, plugging in the values, we get minus j 795.78. So our circuit will now look like this. We have plugged in the value of j's, and now we can add this and we can add this. Let's call this one as Z1 and this one as Z2. So Z1 is this and Z2 is the right hand side. So we can write that Z1 is R1 plus j omega L, R1 plus j omega L, and solving we get this answer. And similarly Z2 is R2 plus j minus j omega c, or this value. So plugging in the value we get Z2, and now you can see these two are in parallel, so the parallel will give us the ZT, the total impedance. So ZT is Z1 parallel Z2, so we just multiply and divide, plugging in the values. We can directly multiply because these two are in polar. We cannot add these two because again these two are polar. They have to be in rectangular for us to add. So we convert these two in rectangulars. So converting in rectangular form, and now we can add the real terms and the imaginary terms. So we get this answer, and since we have to divide, so we convert it again into polar form. Converting into polar form, dividing, we get 737.73 angle minus 20. So this is the total impedance of this circuit. So I hope you now have learned as to how to find impedance in case of a series and parallel RLC circuits. Thank you.